Wondering how search engines work? How do they even decide what goes on the top of the Google search results? I got you. In this video, I'm going to explain how search engines decide what to rank highest and how you can help improve your own SEO rankings. Quick note. This video series was originally created as part of a beta version of the Badass Creatives Marketing Accelerator. I am moving all of my educational content from that program over here to YouTube so you can watch it for free, but the new version of the Badass Creatives Marketing Accelerator will still include a mentorship, support from me, and a community of other badass creatives, artists, makers, and creative business owners. So if you want to learn more about the program and get on the wait list for when enrollment reopens, head over to badasscreatives.com. How do search engines decide which websites rank highest, right? Because if you've ever used a search engine like Google, you may have noticed how on any given search, it'll say, this is like the top 10 out of 20 million results or 40,000 results or whatever it is. It kind of varies depending on how popular that question is or that topic is. But out of all of those many, many possible results, how does a search engine like Google decide what comes first and what comes on that first page of results? And then what comes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down the list of those first page search results. So there's two main things that search engines care about: relevance and importance. Relevance is how relevant is your particular web page or your particular website to what that person is searching for, to their search query or question. Out of all the possible options that a search engine like Google could show to that person, is yours the most relevant or is it sort of off topic? And also, does the information on your particular page of your website answer the question that that person is trying to get answered, right? Whether they're trying to find that specific product or an answer to their question, does it really match the intent of what that person is trying to find online? And then importance is the next ranking factor. So out of all the pages that are relevant, right? That's one of the things. Then which pages kind of have the most street cred? Which ones are the most important? Which ones have the most gravitas? How does your web page compare to other similar pages, basically? If you have pretty much the same information on the page, do one of you seem to be more important, more popular than others? And then also, what is the experience like once people actually click through to your web page, and how do they interact with your web page? Do they immediately click right back to their search results because they had a bad experience with your web page? Or do they keep on browsing through multiple pages of your site and ultimately make a purchase or do something? So a couple more importance factors. Click-through rate, I kind of touched on this briefly, but click-through rate is how we measure when somebody clicks through to something. And click-through rate can apply to a lot of different things within digital marketing, including things like ads and social media content and things like that. But when we're talking about search engine optimization and the search engine results page, what that means is when somebody sees a search result page, they click through to any given result. So on this example here, we've got a shoe example, right? We're looking for shoes, maybe for a wedding, maybe we're just shoe shopping in general, because there's a lot of different results up here. There's some sneakers, there's some flats, all sorts of women's shoes. So out of all of these, does the person or do the majority of people that get shown this or a similar search result, do they typically click on one of these results more than others? Because if the top result that Google is usually showing for this search query is indeed the one that most people click on, they click on the very first thing that they see, that sends a signal to Google, okay, we're doing a good job. People are generally clicking through and are satisfied and are spending time on the site that we're showing first. Right? So it sort of reinforces that. On the other hand, if they are consistently showing your site as the first search engine result for a particular search question or query, but even though they're showing that first, 9 times out of 10, the searcher is scrolling down the page and they're actually clicking on what's showing up as the 5th result, that's also sending a signal to the search engine. And so with those signals and with people taking those actions to have to scroll down and click on a different search result, not just the first one, but but the 5th one down the page, that's going to start to send that signal to Google that maybe they need to shift the way that they're showing the results. Maybe they need to move that number 5 position result to number 1 or to number 2. So another importance factor is backlinks. You might have heard of how important links are to search engine optimization, and this is one of the factors. Backlinks are links from other websites to our own website. We'll also talk later about in another lesson how important internal linking is. Like, that's links within your own website and linking one page to another page of your website. That's also very important. But here we're talking also about backlinks from other websites. This is not just about quantity or the number of links. It's also about quality and the relevance of those links to your website. So for example, it's better to get a link from a trusted, well-regarded news source. If you got a link from the New York Times or even your local newspaper or your local television station, right? You got some amazing press for your business. Those links would be much more valuable, especially in terms of search engine optimization, than it would be to get a link from a spammy scam site based in, the other side of the world, where they're just creating affiliate page links and it is a jumble of nonsense and it has nothing to do with what your company is about and what you sell. Getting those backlinks is important, but it's important to have the quality in addition to the number of the backlinks. And I would say quality is even more important than the number in a lot of ways. So a few more things to keep in mind in general about search engines and how they work and search engine optimization. Nobody sees exactly the same search results. And this is really important to keep in mind when you're looking, if you're searching yourself, right? If you're looking at your own search results for your own website, you're typing your name into Google, you're typing your business name into Google. What you see in the search results might not be the same thing that your customers see. Might not be the same thing that you see if you yourself are logged in on a browser at the local library. So one of the things that a lot of search engines, especially Google, does is that they really try to customize the search results to the individual user. You may have noticed if you search things like best Chinese restaurant near me, it's generally going to try to give you location specific suggestions. It may be pulling that information based on an IP address, if you have that information available, if you don't have sort of privacy settings turned off. If you're logged in on Google Chrome, for example, say that you use Google products, you have Gmail, you're logged in, and you use Google to search, it's going to know certain things about your search history, and it's going to use that to try to customize results that it thinks you will like the best, that will be the most relevant for you. And so just keep that in mind when you're looking at your own search results or other people's search results. We don't all see the same thing. Another thing to keep in mind is that search engines don't think like people yet. So they are getting smarter. We've had a lot of advances in artificial intelligence and machine learning over the last few years, or the last decade or two. Things have definitely come a long way with search engines and how smart they are, for better or worse, but they're still not humans. They are still, at the end of the day, computers, they're robots. And so for a lot of reasons, we need to add content and use descriptive language around some of the content on our website to help both the search engines understand what information is on our website and who that information is for, but being descriptive in all the ways that we can and being as useful as we can on our website and how we describe things also helps with other things, including accessibility for people who may be blind or visually impaired, or may be deaf or hard of hearing. User experience is key. When we are building websites, when we are trying to optimize for search, at the end of the day, we're trying to optimize for human beings. We're trying to optimize for our customer, our ideal customer. And so we want our websites to be easy to use. We want it to have all the information that people are looking for, that they need in order to make an informed purchase if we're trying to sell on our website.